Alright guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. Hope you guys are doing well. So this collection is a pretty large collection. It is from a guy named John I just met up with. I will post a link of the original video of his interview with kind of his cool stories, what's going on with him and things like that. I think it was fascinating to kind of talk to him more about his magic experience. So this video is kind of like more of a ramble talk like Rudy does and kind of how the process works. The camera is a little bit in a weird angle because I'm going to actually flip this binder a little bit upside down so I can take them out. But then I'll start showing the cards and the condition and any kind of interesting details as I go. So it's kind of a sorting video. Hope you guys enjoy. Let's start by first, I want to show you guys always sanitize those hands with Germ-X or some kind of solution. I have like a Costco sized container. Main reason why is you want to just keep your hands dry and not dirty and clean them up if they are dirty. A lot of people ask me, why don't I just use sleeves gloves, and I don't want to copy open boosters. That's the first thing. Second thing is they're uncomfortable and they're not. I like touching the cards themselves so I can get an idea. All right, so what's interesting about this collection is, well, first off, when I buy collections, I actually take away the actual binder and just throw them away because they're just these cheap plastic binders, or I donate them if they're still good intact. But with this collection, this was really interesting. This was in the video from before. And when I first bought the collection, this is an old school type of way to categorize and determine. Look at this guy. He paid $960 back in 1996. Why don't you guys do a little guesstimate? What do you guys think this entire collection is worth? Or maybe the set, I have no idea, right? But tell me what you think it's worth. And this is just part of the paperwork. This one right here is cards I additionally need. So, I don't know. Cards he still needs, apparently. I haven't counted how many, but it looks like about less than 100. So I think there's about 200 or so cards here. All right, so that's that. So I'm going to actually flip these around. I know it's a little backwards. So a couple of things to prepare. You always want to have a clean surface. And then also, I also am using these type of top card holders. And the main idea here is I'm going to sort them by color. And I'm also going to, if I see any cards worth grading, high condition, quality condition, then I will go from there. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the cards out. They are double-sided. So here's this. Oh, there's the Black Lotus. And then there's the other side. So the first step to sorting cards is you want to have two type of pile. You want to just start taking them out. So, you could go the speed route. I think I'm going to go more the speed route where you basically take them all out. Then you do it by color. And then, some people like to take the two at a time and then put them by color, but I find that this is probably the most effective way. Now, you're also probably wondering, why the hell, Dan, are you not putting these in card savers instantly? Now, a lot of these cards are like, for example, the Lotus is sleeved, and it's pretty nice already, the way it is. I probably call the Lotus, I'll have to pull it out, but probably more like a BGS 7 or 8, probably 8 because I'm a little bit pickier. Actually, it's probably an 8, so 7 is probably a little bit too weak. But if this video goes, obviously my videos can go about 17 minutes, and if it does, then we're gonna have to obviously cut it out. So what do you guys think about the alpha market? Do you guys think it's a good market right now? Do you think the prices are too high? What are your theories about that? I'd like to hear you guys in the comments below and see what your overall consensus is, what's going on. I've been plugging it for a long time. People have said, well, Daniel's just purposely trying to make the market higher. I mean, the market, guys, is already high. with or without me or Rudy's input, it's always high. I mean, it's high by itself. We're all high all the time. No, I'm just kidding. Never did any drugs in my life. But in terms of the alpha market, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's a little too crazy out there? Or too rich for your blood? Do you think it's, I'll even go like this so you guys see the cards. Do you guys think it's kind of, do you think it's still affordable? Do you think there's opportunities? And I'm talking about alpha particularly. I'm not talking about beta in this case. I'm not gonna do that because speed-wise it slows you down a little bit. Because people think that beta is still, beta is still a good buy, and I have to agree. There's opportunities in beta because beta has the black border original print, Power 9, dual lands, the whole shebang, reserveless. Also, it also has the Volcanic Island, which is something interesting because Volcanic Island is not in good old alpha. And I don't know if you guys knew this, there was actually several cards not in alpha. So COP Black, for example, and also there's corrections like the Orcish Artillery was corrected, Elvish Archers, and I think you guys can probably look that up on Wikipedia. There's actually a whole information about how they, that's a very nice fast one. There's a whole Wikipedia on how that worked out. But yeah, I mean, you know, people have said that beta, for example, has been, you know, there was a long time ago, the original story was beta was more valuable than alpha. But as soon as people figured it out, that collectors figured out, oh, you know, alpha is way more rare, obviously. Why not, you know, why isn't it more? And so because of the sheer rarity, because alpha is way more rare and scarce, the prices shot up to the moon. And as you see today, now there is no multiplier for alpha compared to beta. I don't think that's the right way to go. I don't know why this Ice Storm is in a sleeve, but who cares about that? You know, it really does not you know, make any sense. I think a lot of people have like this multiplier they like to go by with their cards. I don't think that's the right way to go because every card is a little unique based on rarity, condition, everything like that. So, oh, another thing, guys, is when I'm doing these piles, I'm actually being very careful. I know that some comments in the past when I do these sorting things show that maybe I'm like bending the cards, and they're not. They're a very light taking it out. I'm not scraping the edges at all. So it's all about, you know, carefulness first, safety first, but then you obviously want to go for speed also. Yeah, so another thing, when you talk about collections, a lot of people have asked me, how did you determine you know, what to pay, or how do you buy these things? You know, I know Rudy likes to use the BUYLIST program with Star City. I've done that quite a bit, and I compare with Star City games, Card Kingdom ABU games. But the most important thing for me, though, is it's kind of like it depends on the client, and also how many of these items I already have. So if I have, so just to be clear, with alpha cards, I'll pretty much buy it all the time. But if there's like other stuff, like in this collection, there was like really ridiculous things like, well, there's for Arabian Nights, all that kind of stuff. I'm interested in those all the time. But like stuff like Stronghold, Exodus, you know, those type of sets, I mean, they're cool, but am I going to be buying those like all the time if people want to sell them? I don't know if I would do that. You know, I don't know if I'm interested in buying you know, infinite amounts of Exodus sets. And the main reason why is because I don't feel like there's a market depth for it to sell. And you know, and I'm not saying it's dead money. I just feel like it's really slow money. You gotta have a diversified portfolio to sell stuff. Otherwise, even a guy like me, even though I only sell old stuff and buy old stuff, it gets really, you know, locked up. Now, alpha is an exception because certain type of sets and collectibles are actually very, very like the growth opportunities. Like there are cards that will go up in value over time. There's a level of growth. So I feel like alpha is one of those few things I'm willing to buy every time, because it's the gold standard. It's the pedigree of our collectible. And I feel like there's a tremendous opportunity for it to shoot up to the moon even further. Now, a lot of you guys will argue, well, you're just saying that because of the fact that you have a lot of them. Well, that's, I guess that's marketing, but that's not the reason. The main reason why I feel like they're going to go up is because, compared to beta especially, is because I think the sheer rarity and the first edition effect really makes it special. To say you have the first, like these were literally the first. Back in Gen Con, I believe, when they premiered Magic, back in like 92 or 93, I think 93, the end of October or something in 93, the cards were, this game was, response was very strong. I mean, it was very popular, and all the cards, from what I was told, sold out just about instantly. So the alpha was pretty much gone, and then they released beta right after. I don't know why the betas and the alphas, the corner story, why obviously they're more around for alpha, why it was changed. And I'm gonna have to get the information on that exact story. But yeah, I mean, that's something I will need to look into. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do for this video, since we're already at 11, 12 minutes, I'm just gonna unsort my Arabian Nights set also. And then what I'll do is I'll do like a final, like a sorting video of both sets and talk more. And that's when I kind of look at condition, any cards that are extremely well for grading, etc. All right, so that's the alpha, and Arabians is a lot slower, it's faster. So yeah, I have to look at the amount of cards we have here, but another thing I like to look for is, like, if you stack it up together, if you look at the color, if you ever do this to your cards, you'll see that there's no inking on these. I was also careful to check all the big cards, but there are some playwear. So when I bought the collection, I wanted to be cognizant of playwear. I don't think that the wear is overboard, making a lot of these cards EX near mint in the 7 range. And there's probably a few minty ones too, but I don't feel like, like when you look at these cards and stuff, you want to make sure you're considering playwear, and also overall condition. It's really difficult because you don't want to go ahead and buy something and be like, well, this, you don't want to assume, like, just because you pull like 5 cards and the condition is exactly mint, and let's say they're mint and you think that they're mint immediately because the 5 cards are mint. That's a big mistake, All right, so let me just pull the Arabian set because we have a few minutes to do that. That won't take too long. And this collection, again, I will put the link in the description below so you can look at the whole purchase itself. Or no, actually, it's not really the purchase, it's more of the story. And I think the story is really cool. You guys will like the video. John was really cool to share with us his stories. I'm gonna try to see if I can get better lighting here. Yeah, the lighting kind of changed. All right, so good old Arabians. Yeah, what do you guys think about Arabians? Do you guys think this set is, there's opportunities on this set for growth, or do you think it's more, I don't know, do you think it's a little bit gone too far? Some people have told me that the beginning is, the beginning of the end is coming, because I guess their feeling is that who the hell will buy them at these prices? But I guess my argument is, I think these cards are more collectibles now than you think. Like, just because they are, It's average. Just because they are, you know, considered like, you know, like people look at them as, oh, I could play with an old school Magic deck, whatever. Doesn't mean that the main value isn't because they're playable. It's because of the fact that they're collectible, for the older cards especially. A lot of you guys would be like, no, that's not true, Dan. That's not true, because let's say the theory goes, if old school Magic just died, would these cards just tank, and, you know, like, would there be no interest because of the playability? Now, I do agree there are certain cards that will probably be due to speculation, but I have a suspicion that that's not going to happen, because the collectible market of these cards has grown to a point where it's not, I wouldn't say recession proof, but it's a new level of just interest. You know, it's like the collectability is just beyond, you know what I mean? Like, collectability is more important than just the playability. I don't know, like the new cards, see, the problem with new cards is all the value comes to be because of the fact that it's the playability, which is an issue. All right, guys, so again, my video is only going to about 17 minutes, and because they're going to cut off, I'll probably not finish this right on time, but again, if you want to watch the rest of the sorting videos, I'm going to just start a new series like Daniel Rambles, or Daniel sorts cards, or Daniel does something. We'll figure something out, and we'll kind of make it a cool, you know, kind of a series ongoing here and there, once in a while. Look, I finished it right on time. All right, guys, thanks for watching. It's Daniel for VintageMagic.com. Look for the other video, and if you're interested in the collection itself of this purchase, or the actual collection when I interview the guy, look for the link below. Talk soon.